Okay. Uh, First off, let me just lower the. Okay, maybe not that one. There you go. Voice up, effects down. Okay. Alright, there you go. So, welcome to a new Let's Play called Tyranny. I did play a bit earlier, mostly so I could see how it goes, and I thought this was pretty fun, so let's play it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I have played this in the past, like the beginning of summer, I'd say.
For over 400 years, the armies of Chiron the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spymaster and Archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Right. So, as I was saying, I did play this before during the start of summer, and then I stopped because school. Or not really school, but I was playing it on my laptop, and I didn't have enough room because I had other games I wanted to play, mostly Destiny, and yeah, this took up a ton of storage, so I decided to delete it because I also needed some room for recording videos and editing. That too. All right. Anyways, we are making our character. Huh.
Got it. I'm injured, tired. Let's rest. Yes. To battle!
Oh, boys. That'll be funny.
This'll be fun. That wasn't so hard.
too. Alright. Oh, my backstory. Alright, let's see. Let's read some of this stuff. I usually don't read, but I think I'll do it now. Today, you are Fatebinder, agent of the Archon of Justice. You are by no means free, but as a warrior, scholar, deputized with discretionary powers to interpret and execute the laws of the Overlord Kairos. You are freer than most. One does not apply to be a Fatebinder. One is called by Tunon, the Archon of Justice. And to decline is death. Millions of men and women live in the dozens of realms ruled by the Overlord. How did you stand out from amongst this teeming mass of desperation and insignificance and gain the Archon's notice? Let's see. Pit fighter. Not wishing to pay to feed and house two, the madam that purchased your mother sold you to the proving grounds. The Northern Empire's bloodiest, most notorious fighting arena. Given only enough training to assure the show isn't over too soon, your natural prowess and survival instincts led you to one victory after another. There was no elegant swordsplay, nor formalized duels, just brutal melee and the stench of blood, shit, and bronze with each day's gruesome necessities. It is said that any fighter that slays a dozen others in the grand melee is given her freedom, but in 300 years, only 3 warriors have ever walked away from the proving grounds. When the closing horns sounded and 13 corpses lay about your feet, you became the 4th to be granted freedom to thunderous applause. But this autonomy was short-lived. Within days, word of your accomplishment made its way to the Archon of Justice. Soldier, unable to settle the year's accountants with grain, your parents offered you as a teeth to the Overlord instead. Seeing your first battles as a child, you've known all your life how to fight, how to stay calm at the sight of blood and disembowelment, and how to rely on your fellow warriors. Deemed smarter than the average killer, you were groomed for command and given an education in letters and numbers. With rumors of war, it seemed recruitment into the disfavored legion would be the obvious match for your skills, but the Archon of Justice is known to say that good iron is not used for swords. Good minds are not used for soldiers. Claimed by Tunon, you were instead drafted into the court of Fatebinders, where your martial skills were put to use in the enforcement of Kairos' law. This one actually seems more fun. But, my parents throwing me away like that was kind of mean. Alright, lawbreaker. Accused of a crime you most certainly did commit, you stood before Tunon, the adjudicator, there you go, Archon of Justice, and argued your case with eloquence and conviction. I'm impressed by your logic, reason, and confidence. He found you guilty anyway. It is rumored that Tunon selects many of his agents from his prisoners. Who better to catch the wicked than those versed in such ways? In his mercy, Tunon offered you the choice of 2 sentences. Decades languishing in prison, or a lifetime serving him in the court of Fatebinders. The choice was an easy one, and instead of seeing the inside of a cell, you were trained in letters and numbers, magic and war. The laws you once broke are now yours to interpret and enforce. Also interesting. Hunter. When the leader of your home village spoke out of turn one time too many, Agents of the Overlord put the whole town to the torch to contain the spread of insubordination. The Bounding Viper tribe came across the smoking ruins of your village, and when the beast's matriarch found you frozen but unafraid, the mighty leader took you in and raised you with the protection of her tribe. For years you lived with these wild beastmen in their migratory homes throughout the mountains, but the Bounding Vipers were a dying breed. Each long winter it took a greater toll than the last, and once the dwindling tribe was too weak to defend its lands, disfavored soldiers came to dispense of the ravenous scavengers your tribe had become. Finding a human amongst the wild tribe, the disfavored soldiers made a point of taking you alive. News of the wild child of the north eventually spread to the Archon of Justice, and he ordered you released from captivity and delivered unto his court. So basically I was raised by beastmen, essentially. Kinda, sorta. Oh, interesting. Guild Apprentice. Deeply proud of your intelligence, your parents always knew you were too smart for a life spent with your hands in the soil. Looking to secure a better future, your parents struck a bargain with the Seven Tree Guild, a small magical order willing to teach you letters, numbers, and magic, if you proved capable. For several years, you learned much from the mages, mastering reading and writing faster than the rest, and eventually learned the basics of mystic theory and spellcraft. Your magical studies came to an abrupt halt when the Voices Nerat, Archon of Secrets, deemed the guilds a peacetime distraction that must be disbanded for the upcoming war. Its mages assigned to proper armies while your peers went on to other guilds. Your mind was seen as too valuable to be wasted on the armies. Instead, your life was claimed by Tyranny, Archon of Justice. War Mage. Few have the combination of wits and courage to be accomplished casters and warriors, and those cursed with such combination of talents are invariably pulled from their mundane lives and assigned to the armies of the Archons. Your earliest memories are a painful slog of training, study, lecture, and exhaustion, all the elements of being groomed for battle. You knew better than to ask what became of your family, nor to question the missives allegedly penned by their hand that were part of your earliest lessons in reading. When you reach adulthood, Tunon, the adjudicator, came to the barracks and laid claim to your life. Seeing you as too valuable for the crucible of battle, the Archon of Justice deemed your life better spent dedicated to the art of punitive legal remedies. Though you had much to learn in matters of civil discourse, none could deny your bright future as Tunon's next great enforcer. Diplomat. Though they would never tell you why, Kairos bestowed great wealth upon your family for some unmentioned service, and your parents used this wealth to have you raised far from home. Your childhood was a nomadic tour of Terratus, with hired tutors and fleeting friendships, where others had stability and routine. You had a worldly and varied education. A careless word in a far-flung city landed you in legal trouble, and you were taken before Tunon, the adjudicator, and made to stand trial. Not only did you plead your innocence, but you turned the accusations around of the accuser. Wasting the court's time, the Archon of Justice concurred. Amused by your wit, wisdom, and adaptability, Tunon claimed you as his newest enforcer. Not bad. I mean, this one seems like I was, like, part of Kairos' army already. Not bad. Novo Scion? Probably Scion. Scion. Yeah. Born to noble parents, you were groomed for leadership. Your youth spent on letters, history, rhetoric, and other matters of culture and statecraft. Though you had wealth and creature comforts, you were expected to grow up quickly and bear the honor of shepherding others through prosperity and war. When your parents came under accusation of sedition, you were sent to the court of Tunon, Archon of Justice, to defend your family's actions. Your parents were found guilty. Their sentence, the dissolution of the treasonous estate. Eloquently pleading your own ignorance on your family's actions, you notioned your most important deal yet, immunity from the crimes of your family, for the simple cost of swearing fealty to the Archon himself. Despite the unwilling induction, your education and savvy made you a valuable addition to the Archon's cadre? Oh god. Of enforcers. And so long as you remain in good standing, your family just might be allowed to live. I like the lawbreaker. Wait, hang on. Either that or soldiers. That was actually a pretty good one too. Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna go with Lawbreaker. Alright, so weapons. That was a lot of reading. Alright. Primary expertise. As one of Tunon's Fatebinders, you received training in the arts of war, the intrigue of magic, and the inexhaustible depths of Kairos' law. Across the Northern Empire, the education of a Fatebinder is second to none. Those bearing the title are expected to read introductions and understand the economics of the realms in which they operate. Literacy and mathematics skills rarely found on Terratus? Oh, God. Are essential skills in the execution of law. Subtler talents like speechcraft or tactics are honed with time, experience under Tunon's guidance. Alright, let's see. Sword and shield. Basic. I like it. Not bad. Javelin. I'm assuming I can throw it. Yep, throw a weapon. Oh, I can go into melee too though. Oh. Let's see. Throwing weapons deal more damage than bows, but cannot attack from as far away. Deals have the benefit of being able to switch between ranged and melee attacks, depending on the enemy's distance. Not bad. Pretty good. Great sword. Two-handed, I'm assuming. Dual wielding. And short bow. Unarmed attacks. Shock spells, frost spells, bigger spells, Let's see. I might. I'm gonna go with the javelin here. Shot, hobble. I do more damage, right? Yeah, I do more damage than bow. Okay. I can do piercing damage too. Okay, and then hobbled. Right click details. Hobble. What does hobble do? Movement speed reduced by 30. Oh, that's it? Okay, never mind. I'll go for lead. Yeah. Right. Choosing that one. Okay, cool. Alright, javelin done. Alright, next. Oh, secondary expertise. Believing that all of his agents should be well-rounded, Tunon ordered that you receive training in a secondary combat style. Fate binders are often deployed into treacherous circumstances. One's ability to adapt to unexpected changes, like sudden violence or illegal entanglement, can represent the difference between life and death. Let's see. I have essentially a melee and a ranged ability. War Mace. Ooh. Let's see, what is this one? This one's piercing, correct? I wonder what type of it's piercing. I'm guessing it's also pierce. There's slash and pierce. But I think I might go with this. I don't know. Is it a good idea to go? Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll just do this one. Sunder, cleave. Does it stun them? Crush, pierce, and slash armor reduced by 5. Oh, it's a debuff. Oh, cool. Yes, I'll take. Cool stuff. Alright. Ooh, my colors. Yes. Okay, hang on. Aw, I was hoping I could look more like a Roman legionary. Legionary? Or Spartan? Oh well. We'll keep the pants brown. And we'll keep the red. And then... Ooh, customize my own flag. Let's see. Yes. Kidding, I don't know. I feel like we're gonna rebel. I have a sneaking suspicion we're gonna rebel against Kairos anyways in the future. So... I really wish there was something more interesting. Let's see, I'm a lawbreaker, yeah? Okay, let's see. Haha. Most beautiful. I like it. Unless there's something like bars. Oh. 12? Nah. I'm gonna go back to this one. Okay. And then we'll use... Oh god, I can't even see it. That's a good color. This color is actually pretty nice, I must say. And yellow. Alright, perfect. I think we're ready on that one. Nice. I'm sorry if I'm taking a long time. It's just that character creation usually takes a long time for me. Alright. Attributes. Let's see. Might determines the physical strength of a character. Increased might leads to more powerful attacks and stronger abilities, as well as increasing the endurance defense. Quickness. Quickness, I'm assuming, is my attack speed. Cooldown. Turns out often a character can use their abilities and spells in combat, reducing cooldown durations. Oh. Vitality, I'm assuming that's health. Yep. Wits, spell strength, resolve, determines the character's ability to endure physical and mental challenges. Is primarily attribute used to derive the endurance, will, and magic defenses. It also increases the duration of afflictions applied by the character. Let me get 8 of them. So 15% attack. Yes. And then ooh. Oh boy. Endurance defense is like health, right? What's this? Endurance resist attacks on the internal physical systems of the character, i.e. e.g. poison, disease, stun, etc. Oh, it is defined by the character's resolve and might attributes, but can also be influenced by equipped items, talents, and effects from spells. So endurance is basically like stun resist, poison resist, and disease resist, I'm guessing. Okay. Cool. Not bad. Alright. More stuff. Let's see. Lore. Guess we'll get that one up. Oh, maybe not too much. Hang on. Calm down. Subterfuge. Get some of those up. Traps and devices, and to open locked chests and doors. Yeah, I kind of want that. Then lore is kind of nice. These two are basically just like, this one's mostly for searching around for like secret chests and stuff, and conversational skills. And lore is also some conversational stuff too. That and scroll reading. So if you want to like make spells and stuff. I'm sure there's more to it, but yeah, that's the basics. Let's see. Dodge would be nice. Parry would also be nice. And athletics, because I like being fast. In terms of character, ability to traverse difficult terrain, as well as their ability to execute complicated moves in combat. Athletics is also used in dialogue. Determine. Ooh, hang on. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I think that's it. And then Conquest. Selecting Conquest is going to allow you to play through Kaios' Conquest of the tiers. Choosing how your character was involved in the invasion. This gives you the most control over the starting state of the game and how other factions will react to your character. Well, yep. A lot more reading, ladies and gentlemen.
All the world has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tiers, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior. In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tiersmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tiers sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
All right. During the conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of the Tiers, shaping the world through which you will venture over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the Tiers respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. I see. The Bastard City. The bastard city stood on the northern border between Kairos' empire and the Tears, built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between realms. The city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tears, it was the center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' army. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the Tiers. Kairos' will is insurmountable. Let's see. Infiltrate the Tiers. History would remember the Gates of Judgment as the first battle of the conquest, but the real combat unfolded with advanced units of both armies preparing for the coming war. The Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus each had a plan to infiltrate the capital city. Which army did you join? Okay, and then this one. The armies of Kairos took the battle to the Gates of Judgment, trumpeting the opening call of the conquest of the Tiers. The two armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, brought their distinctive sense of order and chaos to the assault. You went to battle alongside the army whose approach best suited your strengths. Standing shield to shield, Kairos' ironclad elite, you advanced on the mercenary army purchased by the nobles of the bastard city. The Legion wanted to send a message to the Tiers that superior breeding and disciplined training would win the day. You rushed with the chaotic mass of the Scarlet Chorus, flanked the bastard city's army, and drove them to flee. You lent your skills to the elite Disfavored scouts to capture a border garrison. Graven Ash insisted that an early victory in the offensive would boost the morale of his troops and diminish the haughty overconfidence of the Southerners. You joined the Scarlet Chorus as they raided villages and small towns, conscripting every able-bodied man and woman into the army. The voices in the rot emphasized the rewards of conscription and enslavement over wanton bloodshed. Apparently, his soldiers needed the reminder. Honestly? Let us do this one. The Oathbound Scouts identified a modest border defense and collaborated on an organized attack that would leave the enemy uncoordinated and cut off from aid. You oversaw the preparations and offered your opinion on the strategy. When the clashing of swords and spears fell to silence, followed by the cheering of the Disfavored scouts, you were the least surprised. I like how a lawbreaker, basically a criminal, is teaching strategy. Interesting. Alright, containing the fire. Your fiercest opponents in the bastard city were the mages of the School of Wild Wrath. Too barbaric to use their power responsibly, the unbridled practitioners needed to be stopped. How did you trick the hot-tempered mages into their own undoing? Lured the hot-headed mages to an ambush where a legion of Disfavored waited to spring the trap. The soldiers were hungry for a chance to subdue the arcane branch of Tyr's resistance. He tricked the guild elders, into meeting with the Voices of the Rot, Archon of Secrets. The Archon was notorious for his cruel and mysterious interrogation techniques. The mages were never seen again. Inside agent. With the border garrison captured by your disfavored allies, you traveled ahead of Kairos' army and lured in the shadows and lurked in the shadows of the bastard city. You decided that converting one of the locals to Kairos' side would help bring the city to its knees. After all, corruption starts from within. You enlist a bitter captain of the guard that sell military secrets to the disfavored. Better that Kairos' forces march to their next inevitable victory well informed. You came to an agreement with a well-known connected smuggler who knew how to sneak agents of the Scarlet Chorus behind the city walls. Scarlet Chorus was better operatives than soldiers, and this work required a subtle touch. I like sneaking in. I like stealth. After accepting his deserved payment, the smuggler uncovered a long-forgotten tunnel that intersected with the sewers of the bastard city. Armed with the maps of the subterranean layout, your Scarlet Chorus allies fanned out to occupy various city districts under cover. They spent the ensuing weeks murdering key officials, sabotaging defenses wherever possible, weakening the tier's capital under the very nose of its leaders. Betrayal of the bastard city. Your tactics of infiltration placed you and the bastard city ahead of the main armies. Your work softened the city defenses for the arrival of Kairos' forces, but you wanted a decisive gesture that would give your allies a meaningful advantage. How did you assist in the fall of the bastard city? You challenged the commander of the bastard city's defense to an honorable fight to the death. This favored wished to spare soldier lives for the battles ahead and civilian lives for occupation. Honorable, I like that. Spreading the word of Kairos, you converted the poor and disaffected into a hidden army of the Scarlet Chorus. Once the dust settled, the army wished to bolster their troops with these sleeper cells. What's this one? One per counter. What is this? Receive less damage, increase health. Get health regen. Oh. Nice. Okay. Keeping to the shadows, you eliminated the leaders of the bastard city, one by one. My equipment right now isn't really made for stealth, is it? I'll go with this one, because I can tank. The city marshal was an old but experienced fighter, and his value to the guard was an accepted truth. After making guarantees for your protection, you met him in the square of the market district and fought in the view of tense onlookers. The battle drew on longer than you thought possible, but fortune struck when an ornamental chain hanging from the marshal's armor snagged the quillon of his sword, granting you the opportunity to end his life swiftly. Kairos' forces celebrated your return to camp and the dissolution of enemy morale. All agreed that the bastard city was poised to crumble. Alright. Yeah, this is gonna be an entire episode, just saying. Sorry about that. The bastard city settled into a new state of normalcy. With every tower displaying Kairos' banner, your name was whispered alongside rumors of a decorated career to come. The armies divided into two fronts, migrated south. Tunon sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Kairos' conquest, either as a judge and overseer of the settlement of Lithium's crossing, or as a war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex. Let's see, judge and overseer. What is this? Okay, let's see. Apex. The troops of the mountain realm of the Apex stood idle in the safety of their valley, biding their time as their neighbors in the bastard tier fell. In the second year of war, a joint force of the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus crossed over the mountains to take control of the tier's Central Valley. Lithium Crossing. Deposits of iron made the settlement of Lithium's Crossing a strategic war asset. Chiron sent the forge-bound smith mages of exceptional skill to establish a flow of weaponry. Tunon, the adjudicator, sent one of his fate binders to ensure the enforcement of Kairos' law. So this is a iron deposit zone thingy, and this is another area we can take over. Or is it like a fortress? I'm assuming it's kind of like a fortress, huh? Well, I like this. This one's cool. I like the weapons. Lithium's Crossing. Years ago, Lithium the Bold founded a small merchant city at the intersection of ancient old walls. A pact between the settlers and a mercenary company meant that caravans were able to travel without fear of bandits or bane, and the town thrived in modest insignificance. Lithium's Crossing drew Kairos' attention for the iron deposits in the surrounding hills. With the region under Kairos' control, the northern smith mages set up workshops to refine ore and arm the disfavored with the finest weapons in the known world. The Archon of Secrets dismantled the mercenary support with a generous bribe, taking the crossing in a bloodless victory. Tunon dispatched you to travel alongside Kairos' forces and bring order to the region. Cool. Okay. The Iron must flow. Kairos' smith mages worked day and night to create weapons. No one faulted their dedication, yet production was low. The plans that came to light proved divisive. To the disfavored and scholar chorus. On one hand, any additional manpower was needed for fighters, not forgers. On the other hand, the celebrated weaponry of Kairos' armies needed to be fiercely guarded. The Scarlet Chorus took refugees from the recent influx and forced them to serve in Kairos' military. You repurposed these individuals to haul wagons of iron for the smith mages. This proved an inconvenience to the Scarlet Chorus, who relied on their forces of numbers to be effective in the field. You conscripted help from a local tribe of beastmen. Their strength would more than offset their disobedience. The disfavored protested that savages have access to the secrets of iron, but their voices were few compared to the support of the Scarlet Chorus. Chiron, Archon of Song, used her arcane charm to lure locals into joining Kairos' army. As a patroness of the Scarlet Chorus, her efforts were critical to the conscription of new recruits. When an enthralled disfavored soldier joined her cult, his company feared that the Archon was growing out of control and needed to be stopped. Disfavored demanded that the Archon of Song cease her recruitment practices and that they be allowed to violently subdue her cult of followers. The loss of soldiers was a significant setback to the Scarlet Chorus's conscription efforts. In Scarlet Chorus tradition, you set the latest batch of cultists to the front lines of the Apex campaign. Those who survived were welcome to remain in Kairos' military, and their performance would stand as testimony to Chiron's effectiveness. Let's say this one. Scarlet Chorus agreed to transfer Chiron's latest recruit to the front lines of the Apex campaign. Her resolution fit their traditional model of conscription, so they considered it a fair alternative. In the weeks to come, more of them returned to active duty than even Siren herself expected, likely owing to their obsessive devotion to Archon and her enchanting music. So it was a success. I want you to look at that. Alright, let's see. A Rand Anvil. One of Kairos' Smith mages swore allegiance to Scarlet Chorus, jealousy hoarding the secret of iron forging. Through this favor demanded that the Smith's immediate return. The Scarlet Chorus insisted that they were within their rights to take allegiance from any source. Tempers flared and the forgers cooled as arguments stalled productivity. Since the Smith mage would not willingly return to work, he enlisted this favor to return him there in chains. Since Kairos' law dictated that the secrets of iron be granted only to the Smith mages, you ruled that the new recruit's mind be erased of all memory. That might not actually be a bad idea. I'm not entirely sure. Ancient threats. Drawn to the arcane energy around the forges, mystical predators from the nearby old walls began to raid Lithium's crossing at all hours. Both of Kairos' armies reserved their strength for the front lines of the war, and yet the city required protection. You had to delegate the responsibility somewhere. As the largest army, you tasked the Scarlet Chorus with the burden of security. This favor took the opportunity to gather their strength. Since this favor used most of the iron that came out of Lithium's crossing, it fell to them to stand as the city's vigilant protectors. The Scarlet Chorus enjoy a necessary reprieve. What did I just choose? The last one was that. Oh, Siren. Yeah, that's right. Honestly, I kind of want to have like an even distribution of, I guess, reputation between the two armies. I don't want him to be a slave. Here, I'll just do this one. They're gonna hate me, aren't they? Whatever. At your command, the Scarlet Chorus flooded the streets of Lithium's crossing. Infighting and competition among the unruly gangs made for disorganized patrols and distracted lookouts. However, when an ominous tide of old walls predators assaulted the city in previously unseen numbers, it took the full force of the Scarlet Chorus to repel the attack. Who controlled the crossing? Tragedy struck when a mercenary hired by the Voices of Neuron injured a forge-bound artisan, leaving him unable to practice his craft. Tunon ordered the mercenaries to leave the city in the hands of Kairos' more responsible servants. Only a token garrison could be left behind while the armies returned to the front, as the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus showed increasing tension and hostility toward each other. Tunon decreed it best that only one force control the crossing. You granted control of Lithium's crossing to the disfavored. You granted control of Lithium's crossing to the Scarlet Chorus. Wouldn't it make sense for the disfavored? Because they have the old iron thingy. Actually, they have enough iron. Here you go. Scarlet Chorus, you guys can make better weapons and stuff. Who controlled the crossing? The Scarlet Chorus flooded Lithium's crossing with over-eager and undisciplined recruits. In the first few days of occupation, settlers suffered under rampant theft, murder, rape, and arson. By the following week, the horsemen who sowed chaos for personal gain were dead. Strung up by the more disciplined half that took up the reins as the self-appointed bosses of Lithium's Crossing. The Forge-bound continued to mint iron weapons and armor, which Kairos' merchants carted to the disfavored garrisons elsewhere in the tiers. Shipments were light, or sometimes absent. The Scarlet Chorus quartermaster claimed ignorance of the matter. Right. You may choose one of these locations. Let's see. Lithium's Crossing 49 TR, 429 TR. With the mercenaries expelled and Lithium's Crossing under new leadership, Kairos' forces congratulated themselves on bringing order to the settlement and guaranteeing a productive flow of resources. Over the course of this diversion, the army front advanced further into the tiers. Your skills were needed in the realm of Azure, Stalwart, or the Vellum Citadel. Citadel was a library fortress, the largest archive with a written word. The tiers, the school of ink, quill, and protected and maintained the archive of ancient lore for centuries, standing apart from the political upheavals of the younger realms as an enduring pillar of knowledge and culture. Kairos dispatched the Archon of Stone to subjugate the nation of Azure. With the easily defended position and rich military tradition, the realm of Stalwart was the most formidable realm of the tiers. Kairos' conquering gaze fell upon the Vellum Citadel, its treasures, its knowledge, its secrets. Knowledge is nice, but this looks like a farm. I think I'll go here. If that's a farm, it would be nice to have food, resources, and troops. The nation of Azure, once the richest settlement of those tiers, sat on a verdant, fertile plain. As a disfavored clash with the Azure's defenders, the Scarlet Chorus contended against the region's tribal beastmen, who protected their ancestral lands with incredible fury. Kairos dispatched the Archon Chiron to break the stalemate and force Azure into submission. The colossal man of stone and flesh arrived as instructed, but earning his cooperation was a tall order, even for you. Let's see. As tall as the hills, Chiron of the Archons is the Archon of Stone, master of earth and soil, destroyer of mountains and cities. Chiron is the reluctant leader of the Earthshaker Guild, though he is less their teacher and more their object of study. The massive Archon is sworn to graven ash. The massive Archon is sworn to graven ash, yeah, and provides Archon support to the disfavored war effort. So he favors the disfavored. Huh. Interesting. Kind of ironic if I'd say so. Alright, interesting. Stalked by shadows. After a roaming pack of beastmen slaughtered the disfavored patrol, the Scarlet Chorus responded by laying claim to the beasts for their army, while the disfavored readied to a company to enact vengeance. The disfavored legion considered the beasts beyond taming, and the butchers of their northern brethren needed to be brought to justice. You denied the Scarlet Chorus spurious claim and authorized the disfavored to enact proper vengeance for their fallen. You denied the disfavored their vengeance and joined the chorus in capturing the beasts. The destruction of Azure. Chiron, the Archon of Stone, carved a deadly path through Azure, using his powers to blight the land. The Scarlet Chorus complained that his tactics left no farmland to feed the growing army. Since Chiron marched with the disfavored, the Scarlet Chorus held the Legion responsible for the destruction and loss of harvests. Honestly, I kind of have to agree with the Scarlet Chorus here. You ruled that the Archon of Stone may do as he wishes with the soil, being its natural master, and instructed the Scarlet Chorus to better control their numbers and plan better for the lean seasons. You ordered King Chiron's disciples, the disfavored Earthshakers, to use their magic to repair the arable land destroyed by the Archon of Stone. I'm gonna have to agree with the Scarlet Chorus here. Chiron's rate of destruction, the lands of Azure would soon be unable to sustain crops, but Kairos wanted a conquered land, not a barren wasteland. The Scarlet Chorus voiced their concerns and you backed them, going so far as to enlist disfavored mages for aid. Though loath to pause their studies and focus on agriculture, the mages grudgingly assented and traveled with the rear guard, working to heal the land as they went. Sorry, man, but you start complaining about food, blame yourselves. Alright. Chiron's madness. The Archon of Stone refused to rejoin the war camp, loudly denying Chiron's claim over Azure. Nothing less than a full unit of soldiers could subdue the treasonous Archon, yet neither army was willing to risk lives tracking him down. He delivered the order that sent Kairos' forces marching out to Chiron. When Chiron brought them victory, the disfavored hailed him as one of their number. With Chiron defied the will of the Arch Overlord, it fell to the disfavored to track him down and get answers. The Scarlet Chorus had the advantage of numbers and speed. You ordered them to deploy the numerous scouts to scour the countryside and find the alleged traitor. Forced into the fray. The Archon of Stone went missing during the campaign. As disfavored mages busied themselves with the search for Chiron, the Scarlet Chorus forced the mages into combat against their will, during which two were slain. Furious at the waste of trained specialists, the disfavored demanded that the Scarlet Chorus be punished. I don't know. Let's just disfavored. Look for them. It's your damn job. Subduing a wayward Archon was a larger task than rank and file soldiers could manage on their own. The disfavored scouts returned to camp after a long journey, bearing the news of irregular rock formations and beastmen chanting Chiron's name. They found neither hide nor hair of the Archon of Stone, but his presence and impact on the Azure wilderness were evident. Unease spread through the army of Kairos' forces, as Kairos' forces wondered what Chiron's actions could mean. Edict of Stone. Archon of Stone made brazen declarations that Kairos had no claim to rule the tiers. Soon after, word arrived that Kairos would dispatch this rebellious minion with an edict. This favor took solace in knowing the edict was coming, and the commanders petitioned you to be the bearer of justice. Tunon selected you for the honor of proclaiming Kairos' Edict of Stone, a magical spell that with the power to destroy the Archon. As he sensed his approaching doom, Chiron began an assault on Plains-Gate, the largest human settlement of the area. It fell to you to send Kairos' forces into a suicide mission to halt Chiron's destruction, while you completed the proclamation of the edict. Let's see. Knowing there was little chance of survival, you ordered this favor to march against the Archon of Stone as he neared the city of Plains-Gate. You hoped that the elite of Kairos' armies would delay Chiron long enough for you to read the Overlord's edict. Believing that there was a slight chance that the superior numbers could hold off the Archon Stone, you sent the Scarlet Chorus to delay Chiron's march on Plains Gate. You hoped you would have enough time to read Kairos' edict before Chiron reached the city. You believed that the only chance of slowing Chiron's assault was to commit the full force of Kairos' army against him. It was a desperate gamble. You're wrong. There would be no one left alive to warn the other Archons of your failure. Still, you ordered both Disfavor and Scarlet forces to march against the Arcana Stone, while you read the Overlord's edict. It is fair and just. Balance is all it should be. Yeah, I'm just gonna let both of them go in there. The Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus alike questioned the wisdom of this command. You were uncompromising. This approach was the only guarantee to halt the Archon's destruction. The Disfavored phalanx shattered under Chiron's fury, and the shattered Chorus mob was reduced to a smear under his foot. The city of Plains Gate suffered little damage at all as the armies kept Chiron occupied. A small beacon of hope among the devastation. As you read the Edict of Stone, the earth under the battlefield groaned and opened, spitting up outcrops of rock that obliterated the surrounding landscape for miles. When the land heaved open to take Chiron, the Archon allowed it with serene acceptance. I guess that's it. Okay. Edict of Stone. With the lands blighted and unrecognizable, the realm of Azure was left utterly ruined with the events of the war. In times to come, the tears could call this blasted region the Stone Sea. For the treacherous rock formations and persistent quakes became the defining features of this once verdant land. Scarlet Chorus established a sprawling camp in the shattered rocky terrain and quickly absorbed those displaced by the upheaval of the land. These hapless refugees were put to work as slaves and soldiers. The Chorus slowly built themselves a makeshift fortress in the blighted, quake-ridden realm. Your tour of duty in the broken lands of Azure was complete. You didn't have long to rest before Tunon called you into service once more. You have reached the end of Cards of Conquest. Do you want to continue our race? You're probably no, continue. We're not doing that again. Good lord.